friends, welcome back to my channel. I have been a mess lately, but I'm here and we're going to talk about all the books that I read through the months of August and September. I'm a little behind, so we're just gonna roll through these kind of quickly. In the month of August, I read 5 books. If I have them, I'll show them to you, but there are some that I'll have to put here on the screen because either they were audio and library books or I've gotten rid of them. And there's at least one of those. So the first book that I read in the month of August is The Midnight Library. This was for my book club that we are also a crochet group. So we read the book Crochet a Square. I actually really enjoyed this. The other ladies of my group either didn't care for this or really hated it, but I thought it was pretty interesting and I rated this one 4.25 stars. The next book I picked up was a book club book for Laura's Lovely Library, and that was All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. This was the first Catherine Cowles book I read and it's so pretty. I love the cover with the pink edges and I really enjoyed this one as well. This one I rated 4.5 stars. The next book that I read was again for my crochet book club and that was The Wedding People, and I have heard people rave about this, but this one was just okay for me. I only rated this one 3 stars and I actually took it to Second and Charles already. The next one that I finished was one that I had been in the middle of and saying I was going to finish forever, and that is the second book in the Yada Yada Prayer Group, which this one is the Yada Yada Prayer Group Gets Down. I think this took me months to read. I finally finished it and I rated it 4 stars, so I don't know why it took me so long, but then I did go on and read the next book as well, so you'll see that coming up. And the last book that I read in the month of August was A House with Good Bones. This was just a random audiobook that I picked up. This was my first T. Kingfisher book and it was not what I was expecting, but it was still pretty good. I kind of like when it's not what I'm expecting when it comes to horror. So this one I rated 4 stars. And then in the month of September, I finished 8 books. So there's a couple that had taken me a while. The first one that I completed was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I actually listened to this one on audio, but I do have this one on my shelf and I don't know yet if I'm going to keep it or not, but I have the other 2. I need to read those next. This one didn't really live up to the hype, but it was still pretty decent for Frida McFadden, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. Next, I did a reading vlog for September 11th, so if you haven't seen that one, I will link that one down below and up in the cards. For that week, I read part of a nonfiction book, and then I also read this one, which is Towers Falling by Jewel Parker Rhodes, and this one was okay. I feel like the character was quite naive for living in New York City. This would probably be a really good book to introduce the topic to kids in school, just like they are in this story, and I rated this one 4 stars. The next book that I finished in the month of September was a book for my daughter in our little pod group. So we read this one probably throughout August and September, and I have it around here somewhere, but I can't seem to find it. But that was The Rescuers by Marjorie Sharp. The other moms in our group was really excited to read this book because they all loved the movie as kids, and I don't recall watching it. I probably did, but I wasn't really sure of the story, and we got to reading it and I'm pretty sure I don't recognize the story. But they all do not recommend this book for, like, if you love the movie, don't go read the book because it doesn't follow the storyline at all. And it was kind of a hard book for us to get through for kids. It's got some very convoluted language, but in the end it was okay. I didn't rate this one because I don't rate the books that I read to my daughter, but it was decent. The next book was another audiobook called The Trap by Catherine Ryan Howard. This was just a random audio pickup as well, and it was okay. I'm finding I may not be the reader for Catherine Ryan Howard's books, and I don't know if I'm going to read any more by her. It was fine. I rated it 3.5 stars. The next one that I completed in September is again a book that I own. It's around here somewhere, but I cannot find it. But it is Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate, and this was a reread for me, but again, this was for my in real life book club and crochet group. Another of the ladies picked it and I was happy to reread it, and it was really good, just like the first time, and rated it 5 stars. The next book that I read was When the Bones Sing by Jenny Myers Sain, and this one was a library book, so I have had to return it already. I read this one while we were on vacation to Arkansas, which when I picked this book to take with me, I didn't know that it took place in Arkansas, and so on our way I decided to start it and I was like, this is perfect. I did really enjoy this. It's a YA horror thriller, and I rated it 4 stars. The next book I finished in September. We were on the way home from Arkansas, and I listened to this the entire day and completed it. That is The Cousins by Karen McManus. My daughter loves Karen McManus, and she wanted to read it, but because I had it sped up, she's like, I couldn't understand and I had to stop listening. But I finished it and I rated it 4 stars. I am not sure if I read any of her other books. I feel like I may have read one. So the last book that I finished in the month of September was the 3rd book of the Yada Yada Prayer Group. This one is The Yada Yada Prayer Group Gets Real. I did like this one. I rated it 4 stars, but this is the last one that is a reread for me. So now I actually get to continue on in the story and find out something new. So I am looking forward to that, and I'm hoping to finish that next book hopefully in October. We'll see. All right, so my battery light is flashing at me, so I should probably go. Thanks for watching. I hope I didn't speed through these too quickly, but let me know if you have read any of these books, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below and leave me a comment, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!